gate 2, Vasilik in blue off gate 3, and Limbach in yellow and black off the outside. Red and blue are a pairing, white and yellow are a pairing. Heat number 1 of the best pairs. Wojciech Grodzki is the referee. He's 2 or 3 boxes to our right, high above the start line here at Torun, and the 2016 pairs gets underway, and Niels Christian Iversen flies from the inside gate, and Martin Vasilik goes with him, and they have a 1-2 up the back straight for the first time. Vasilik and Iversen heading Artem Laguta, with Antonio Limbach out the back, with a flying start from the inside by Niels Christian Iversen. Vasilik did well too. Artem Laguta chasing hard, trying to make ground on Iversen.
Yeah, Vasilik made a brilliant start there coming from that gate there, and he just got himself out in front of his partner, following through. Niels Christian Iversen's right there. They're holding on to it under a wee bit of pressure from Laguta. Laguta's just going to have to settle down a bit to be able to keep that pressure on.
We've seen Laguta is capable of spectacular moves. He's chasing hard after Niels Christian Iversen in the battle for second place. Martin Vasilik has checked out. There's no team riding at this stage, and the points for the races go 3-2-1-0 as in conventional speedway. It's later on when really the second and third is better than first and fourth, and the races are on between Artem Laguta and Niels Christian Iversen. It looks like being a maximum start here for the Bolt team in heat number 1. Martin Vasilik and Niels Christian Iversen beating Artem Laguta to the line, and they do take 5 points from the opening race. Vasilik and Iversen for the Bolt team over Laguta and Limbach. They both made fast starts, and then Iversen working hard to fend off the challenge of Artem Laguta, and it's a perfect start for Iversen and Vasilik, who bang in maximum points there. Vasilik with the race win, Iversen in second place, and Artem Laguta was third.
Yeah, it was really just kind of a processional race, really. Just a matter of getting out of that start. I'm sure the nerves are rattling by everybody in the pits watching this as well there. Antonio Limbach really didn't get off gate 4 very well at all, and that really suffered there. But Vasilik off 3, got himself out in front, and his partner Niels Christian Iversen followed him through up that inside gate there, and made no mistakes holding down that low line, and luckily had his partner on the outside. They continued on right here. Laguta put the pressure on Niels Christian Iversen that little bit towards the end there, but he ran out of time, and it was quite easy for the Vasilik to win it and his partner to follow him through.
So Iversen and Vasilik off to a flyer in the... But we are feeling happy with things.
Dużo różnych sparingów za mną, także jest fajnie, cieszę się jazdą i to jest najważniejsze.
I tego ci życzymy. Dziękujemy bardzo.
That tapes for heat number 2, then Hülkenberg and Krone, Saipodinov and Zmarzlik out the start line now. It's a City team against Fogo Power. Away they go, and Saipodinov off the gate 2. Makes a great start, but then goes right across the corner and goes down into the fence. What on earth was going on there? Emil Saipodinov is down on turn 1. The race is at the moment was now just been stopped. The referee has put the red lights on as Zmarzlik sweeps around the outside. What on earth went wrong to Emil?
Well, that's quite unusual. I mean, his bike jumped out of the start so quick, and he had to hold on to it. You know, I'm going to have a little bit of a guess here. Maybe he had a little bit of a mechanical problem. Possibly the clutch or something, maybe the cable or something might have broke, because the bike launched. Well, the mechanics here is picking the bike up, holding the clutch lever, and so it doesn't look like that's the case. But he just took off, and it drove him so hard across the corner that I don't think he had any ability to pull the bike back, and then maybe a little bit slippery up there, and he just had to give it up.
Yeah, I think when it's such a wide circuit, but here we go.
Yeah, just watch him. He just dumps the clutch. The bike's going pretty good. He puts it down. He can't get it down. Comes down across, realizes he's going way too far, and just put it down. Probably because he wasn't sure what was going on. Maybe it's early season blues, who knows?
Well, it's an extraordinary incident for a race which we expected them to dominate. He actually went close to wiping his own teammate out as he went across the turn there.
You know, looking from that shot right there, you know, these bikes really flex a lot, and the bike was driving him, and the bike's put a bit, and at least give him a little bit of time, so he's going to rely on Kai Huffenbrock on that inside. If he can make an absolutely good start, he's right up, tucked up close to the inside line there. It is a little bit greasy up the highlight, I would say. I mean, when I walked the track, I didn't really see that, but a little bit of water late on before the meeting start might have been a little bit greasy. We've seen Emil go down pretty easy, so you got to stay away from that highline. So inside.
And Zmarzlik is the man in yellow off the outside. Restart then of heat number 2. Zmarzlik gets a reasonable start. They all get there pretty much together, but Zmarzlik's got the pace around the outside to swoop round Hülkenberg, and Zmarzlik has the advantage over Hülkenberg and Krone, and Zmarzlik, who we will see at the very peak of the sport this season. The rider going forward very fast indeed, as he's doing in this heat number 2. He was out there with the German duo, and he swooped round the outside of Kai Hülkenberg.
Yeah, that bike's working really good for him. He's got a nice line, made a really good start from the outside gate, squeezed down to the inside of the apex of turns 1 and 2 to make sure he sealed the deal. Coming off turn 2, the bike's just doing all the work now, and he's having an easy ride.
Already going up high and wide off bend 2. Zmarzlik exploring every inch of the Torrent circuit, right for Gorzów in the Polish Extraliga, and he leads on to his last lap comfortably over Hülkenberg and Kroner. He'll be happy enough if he offered the German duo a 3-3 going into this heat number 2. They certainly have taken it, but there's no stopping Bartosz Zmarzlik, who wins heat number 2 for the Fogger Power team. His colleague Emil Sajfudinov crashing out at the first staging, but Zmarzlik making no mistake in the rerun. Kai Hülkenberg and Tobias Kroner packing in for second and third, and that's a 3-3 outcome in heat number 2. Off and clear into the distance. Zmarzlik the winner of heat number 2. Hülkenberg and Kroner second and third for the City team.
Like Tobias Kroner was possibly going to get there on that inside, but Bartosz Zmarzlik made a really decent start. Tucked it right down close to the apex right there coming off, let the bike run a little bit. The bike did the work from that point on. He had to go for it out of the start, there's no doubt about it. Missing his partner. The Russian fell down in the first corner of the first attempt of this heat number 2, made a mess of it, and is going to see the doctor, see what that's all about. But Bartosz Zmarzlik took care of it on his own, and he got 3 points for the Fargo Power.
So they both have 3 points after their first outing. The Bolt
not as much as he would want coming from there, so he's going to rely on a good start with Zagata just on the inside of Nicky. And Martin Smolinski, man, if he can get all that start, make that Java work, who knows?
Intriguing to see, I think, how Smolinski and Pedersen
look for these 3 points on his own.
Heat 3, Smolinski and Pedersen up against Protasevich and Zengota. They're all in line, out the start line, away they go. And it's a good start by Zengota off gate 2, gets above Smolinski, gets also the better of Nicky Pedersen, who turns back off the second member. Zengota still with the advantage over Pedersen. Down the inside goes Protasevich to relegate Smolinski to the back. He comes back on the inside curve, really tight for second, third and fourth, as Pedersen ahead of his teammate Smolinski on the inside line. Back round the outside comes Protasevich. He cuts back once more and regains third place.
Oh, there's a track waking up a little bit, but what an excellent start there that we had there. That was what you need to do to get out there. Zagata made it clearly out in front. Nicky Pedersen's now chasing him down, just strictly trying to figure out what the track's going to let him do, and Smolinski's doing his part as well, but it's still there. Look at that. Protasevich took care of that, got into third place.
Fine ride so far by Greg Zengota as he goes on to his last lap. The battle is really still on for third place, as you can see, with Martin Smolinski trying to get back up the inside of Protasevich. He's looking for it into bend 3. He can't quite. The door is firmly closed by Protasevich. It's a great win for Greg Zengota, and Protasevich hangs on for third place. They're split by Nicky Pedersen, but they keep Smolinski at the back, and that's a 4-2 to the ePort 2000 team. And what a great ride by Greg Zengota, who, by the way, is racing on here. Someone should tell him that the race is finished. Yeah. But Zengota has done a 5-lap race. Everybody else is turning around on the back straight, but Zengota enjoyed it so much he was racing on. But why not? What a great ride.
I would say more than anything, you would think he was going to be under pressure the whole 4 laps. He'd take that extra lap just to cool down.
On there and winning heat number 3 ahead of Nicky Pedersen, who finishes in second place. Protasevich third after a battle with Martin Smolinski, and that therefore is a 4-2 to the ePort 2000 team.
Yeah, well, here we go. Out of the start, Nicky Pedersen didn't quite get there. And just up the inside of him there was Zagata. Gregory Zagata got it there first. Coming off of turn 2, there's half a chance that Nicky Pedersen was going to get underneath him to drag race him going into 3, but no chance of that. So Nicky Pedersen's got some adjustments to do, I would say, to that bike right there. Not really set up to get himself out in front straight away. Gregory Zagata totally took advantage of that. Pepe Protasevich followed him through in third place. Is still that 1 point, so that gives the ePort 2000 team that 4 points.
4-2 to them over Trans MF Pro Racing of Smolinski and Pedersen. So that's a good start for them, but it's still the Bolt team out in front with the 5-1 they gained in the opening race. Niels Christian Iversen and Martin Vashlik, and we'll
back in those monster colors, so see what they can do.
Hancock red off the inside, Iversen white off gate 2, Holder blue off gate 3, Vashlik in yellow off the outside. And yes, De Brockie is the team manager of the Bolt team and the former rider, and should know how to get around this circuit, I think.
Yeah, no doubt.
4, Greg Hancock and Chris Holder up against Niels Christian Iversen and Martin Vashlik. Bikes rev, away they go, and Greg Hancock off the inside makes a textbook Greg Hancock start. Iversen trying to make a move around the outside. Chris Holder is turning back off bed 2, really tight up the back straight, and Iversen still on the high outside line. Hancock holds it narrow, but Everson, I think, may have gone round him. Oh, Greg Hancock just about blocks him out, and Hancock still with the advantage. There's trouble for Martin Vaculek.
Everson cut back.
Everson turning back on Hancock, but Greg Hancock still out in front.
Yeah, Holder right there is trying to do it. Oh, there's one guy out right there. That's not good there for the... This is all about the monster team now. What can Holder do? Can you put Everson under any pressure and pass him? Right now, it's just steady.
Yeah, Vaculek has come to a halt. He is getting off his bike on the back straight, but Greg Hancock still race leads from Niels Christian Everson. Chris Holder chasing hard in third, but he's right up the back now of Niels Christian Everson as they start the last lap. Holder racing to try and get the 5-1 here for the monster team, and they're almost wheel to wheel, go to the back straight, and he's just about blocked out by Everson. Hancock is well clear. Everson, I think, will hold second. Holder still trying hard to the finishing line, but it's a win for Greg Hancock. It's second place for Niels Christian Everson, and it's third for Chris Holder, and a 4-2 to the monster team in heat number 4. Martin Vaculek suffering mechanical failure on the second lap, but Greg Hancock, 45 years of age, trapping as well as ever, making it from the inside gate. Really terrific start by Greg Hancock. Niels Christian Everson chased hard in second, as did Chris Holder in third. That's a 4-2 to the monster team over the Bolt team.
Yeah, impressive stuff there. I mean, the tension was on point. There's Raff talking to Hancock in the pits here. Hancock on the inside in the red helmet color makes a good start from that inside. Under a bit of a pressure right there. Everson was just matching him all the way into the first corner, but as they got in there, Everson's moving out a little bit just to stay away from Hancock's back wheel. Left the door open right there for Holder, Hancock's teammate in the blue there, to get up underneath him going into turn 3. But Everson had enough speed down that back straightaway to hold on to that second place. Unfortunately for his partner, Martin Vaculek, his bike fell on him as it got going. About lap 2, I think that's when it stalled on him. But Hancock held on to that first place all the way. Holder put the pressure on, but Everson made it happen for his points. He got those 2.
Looked like Everson might have the run around the outside coming off the 4th bend first time, but Greg Hancock just timed. So Artem Laguta is going off the inside in red. Kai Hülkenberg in white off gate 2. Gregory Laguta in blue. The 4 riders up to the start line, and here we go with heat 5 with the Laguta boys in red and blue. Away they go, and Artem Laguta goes away from the inside. Gregory Laguta dispatches Tobias Kroner on turn 1. Now tries to go back round Kai Hülkenberg. He's done so. They've got 1 and 2. He takes a look over his shoulder because he knows that Hülkenberg's still there, but they have 1-2 at this stage. Artem Laguta in front of Gregory Laguta. Kai Hülkenberg chasing hard, but really outdone by Gregory Laguta. Powerful opening lap there, and the Nice Racing team out in front.
Yeah, they didn't have it all their own way right there, I can tell you. It was all about Gregory Laguta. Had to really fight for that first turn and second turn to make sure he took care of Hülkenberg. But Hülkenberg's still putting the pressure on him. They're not getting away from him, so they still got a couple more laps to go.
Kai Hülkenberg having a real go here in the 3rd place, trying to regain ground on Gregory Laguta, and once again they're not actually team riding as such up front, Artem Laguta and Gregory Laguta. Artem Laguta has checked out and clear, but Gregory is fairly comfortable in 2nd place. Hülkenberg did threaten for a lap or so, but it looks like being maximum points, and a nice result for the Nice team in heat 5 from the Lagutas, Artem Laguta and Gregory Laguta. That's the 2nd 5-1 we've seen so far, and they were on the wrong end of it, that team, in heat 1 against Everson and Vaculek. But Artem Laguta and Gregory Laguta do the business in race number 5 for the Nice team as they get maximum points and Kroner. So Laguta coming in to replace Antonio Limbach. An easier race on paper than heat number 1, no question about that, but they got the job done. Artem Laguta won it from Gregory Laguta, with Hülkenberg in 3rd place.
Yeah, not a bad position to be in, really. I mean, the Nice team there's sitting on 6 points after 2 rides. Ain't bad with the Bolt team sitting on 7. But this track, you know, when you get out in front, as Artem did, he got himself going. He probably just sensed that he just had to keep the throttle on. He looked over on the inside of his shoulder by the time he got into turn 3 for his brother, and he did finally get there, but I don't think he sensed him or seen him. I think he sensed him more than he seen him, and then at this point, he just kept his head down, kept the bike going, and made a blistering start out of the inside gate, which you have to do, and just took full control of the first corner, got his wheels in line down the back, so there's a bit of a pressure right there. Hülkenberg just putting it on Gregory Laguta, and he pretty much sealed it after that, and a good job for both these guys. Corner, so Emil's going to be looking to make amends in this one as well.
Yes, Marslick looked really fast in his first ride. He goes off the inside here in blue. Nicky Pedersen yellow off gate 2. Emil Saifedinov in red off gate 3. Martin Smolinski in white off the outside. A reminder, the top scoring combination after the 21 regulation heats goes straight to the first bend. Smolinski is being called up to tapes by the starting marshal. He's got the riders in line now. Here we go then with race number 6. Away they go, and Smarzlik is fast from the inside. Pedersen gets squeezed out because Saifedinov was there too. Martin Smolinski with the cutback. That doesn't work. It's a 1-2 so far, but Nicky Pedersen trying the outside now on Smarzlik. Saifedinov out in front. Smarzlik holds second. Pedersen third. Smolinski trying the inside too, and they're trying to make their way round through and beyond Bartosz Smarzlik. They can't do as things stand. Smarzlik locked up slightly, but still maintains second place.
Yeah, we see, there we go. Saifedinov, there goes Pedersen right up the inside, cuts his nose off there. Smarzlik's coming back up the inside, going back into turn 1 for this lap, gets up underneath Nicky Pedersen one more time, moves him a little bit wider, gets a little bit of air, now going down the back straightaway.
Great racing. Smarzlik repassing Nicky Pedersen. Clean pass from both riders, no contact, and it looks like Smarzlik is now establishing some control with that second place. Emil Saifedinov out in front. Smarzlik still holds second. Nicky Pedersen third. Martin Smolinski out the back, and it's surely going to be a 5-1 here as Emil Saifedinov comes round the final turn. Bartosz Smarzlik is there in second place. Nicky Pedersen eclipsed in third. Came charging down the inside on bends 3 and 4 to go inside Bartosz Smarzlik, but Bartosz Smarzlik was having none of that. He hits straight back going into the next lap, and he partners Emil Saifedinov to a 5-1 for Fogo Power. At the time we see Bartosz Smarzlik, he announces himself as a real talent and a rider who's going to win big meetings, big races throughout his career.
He fears nobody, does he? Nicky Pedersen, I'm sure, wasn't happy with this bike. He had, in his first race, he didn't have himself out in front and pulled away. We can just see that. Look at ML coming from gate number 3 with the red. Gets one over the top of Nicky Pedersen in yellow, coming from gate 2, but Bartosz Smarzlik in blue up the inside there, moves offline a little bit. Look at the speed now. Nicky's just going to line him up on that one right there. Nicky doesn't get out of this corner at all. Squeezed out between both these guys. Martin Smolinski makes a nice turn back. Didn't have the speed as well to come underneath and put anybody in any danger going into turn 3. Nicky Pedersen has one chance. He comes underneath the Bartosz Smarzlik. Bartosz feels him, lets him go, turns the bike back, gets his wheels in line, and as he has another go, we'll watch it here. See how he just gets out of the way right there. Nicky chooses to go a little bit wide, the natural line around here. Bartosz does the same thing, comes underneath Nicky. Nicky then has to go up high. Then Bartosz gets his wheels in line coming down the back straightaway. He's now got that position, so it's going to be pretty tough.
But Zengota was excellent in his first ride, really quick, and he's a key man there in yellow.
Yeah, that's right. Zengota, no doubt. Zengota, you know, very fast. He's got the track dialed in a little bit. Well, I guess he didn't feel like he can possibly do it too, because Holder's bike wasn't quite as quick as he probably wanted to. He's made some adjustments. Whether they're good enough, we won't know until after this.
Holder going off the inside. Zengota going in yellow off gate 2. Hancock in red off gate 3, and a first ride of the meeting for Kawaje, who goes in white off the arrow with race number 7, with the monster team on track in red and blue, and it's a cracking start by Chris Holder. Hancock gets squeezed out by Kawaje. First ride for Janusz Kawaje has gone round 1.
Straight
and now
there.
Goes straight down the inside of Chris Holder. What a ride by Janusz Kawaje. He's out in front. Coming back is Holder round the outside. Can he repass him into lap 2? Not quite, but they're almost wheel to wheel into the second lap, and Chris Holder still on the outside line. Hancock in third.
Oh, nice.
Holder sweeps around the outside,
Nice.
and Holder hits the front.
Yeah, Holder just lined that one up there. Kawaje was riding a little bit too defensive. He did all the work in that first corner coming off of turn 2. Got his wheels in line and just shot back Holder. Holder now readjusted his bike from his first outing. Hancock's putting Kawaje under a little bit of pressure right there, but Kawaje's trying to cut the inside now. Can he do it?
Well, Kawaje won't go away. He's still trying to get back on Chris Holder, who just kisses the outside fence there coming off turn 4. Got that corner absolutely spot on, and he now has control of race number 7. It looks like Kawaje should hold Greg Hancock at bay, but it's going to be Chris Holder around turn 3 and 4 to take the checkered flag, and a 4-2 for the monster team for the second time tonight. Different order. Greg Hancock won their first ride with Chris Holder in third place. Well, this time it's Holder in front with Hancock third, and split by Janusz Kawaje. Good effort by Kawaje. Great start from the outside to hit the front coming up the back straight, but then he was passed around the outside. So that is 3 points for Chris Holder and 4 for the team, with the third place for Greg Hancock, and they're split by Janusz Kawaje for the ePort 2000 team.
The team there had a reverse order. They started off in their first race with this guy here, start from the outside. There's Joe Parson there giving the guys a little bit of advice there, but it was Janusz Kawaje from the outside gate 4 coming around the outside of Hancock, the guy that come out of the start anywhere, but this time Kawaje gets his wheels in line going into turn 3, takes care of Holder. Holder gets pushed up the high line. Here's a view of Kawaje coming out of gate 4, just over the top of the lightning start. Experience Hancock, 45 years of age out there making super starts in that prime age of being American 45-year-old. I wanted to say something else here, but I gave that one up. That Kawaje makes it, and then the battle's on. Holder then has to work extremely hard, stayed on his line on the high line, got it going down the front straightaway, looks over the inside to see if his partner was going to take advantage of the inside, but what a nice move by Holder. Got that bike working from his first race, really was struggling a little bit, but this one he's got it down.
Chris Holder winning heat number 7 and a 4-2 to the Monster team. They've all had 2 races so far, as there you see the images once again of that outside move by Chris Holder in blue taking the victory. So they have all had 2 rides so far, and here is the current situation with the Fogo Power and the Monster Energy teams, both on 8 points. Team Boll have Niels Christian Iversen, Kai Hülkenberg going in white, and Tobias Busch for his first ride of the meeting. He goes in yellow as a replacement for Tobias Kroner, who's only scored 1 point so far. So on paper, even though they made a change, obviously you have to say that the mechanical failure, can the riders in red and blue make more points up here in Heat 8? It's a good start by Dudek from the inside, and Iversen is there too, squeezing beyond Hülkenberg on turns 1 and 2, and they have the first and second situation with Hülkenberg chasing hard. He's certainly a hard charger, is Kai Hülkenberg, but can he make any ground here as Iversen goes round his teammate Dudek, who knows he's there now, and they are wheel to wheel in first and second, and we might be about to see the first genuine team riding of the meeting so far, but Iversen and Dudek in control. Yeah,
Dudek staying down that low line as much as he possibly can do, because the bike's pretty fast. Keeping a tight line sometimes will throw you past the apex a little bit. Now he's moved up a little bit higher, following Iversen good. Hülkenberg is keeping pace with them. That's not too bad. If he can get out in front in one of these starts, he might do some damage, because he just looks pretty quick, and these are pretty fast guys on the track.
Yeah, we have seen Hülkenberg chasing hard in his races so far, unable to make any passing move, but he's right up there. If Dudek makes a bad mistake, then Hülkenberg will be able to profit, but I don't think that's going to happen as Iversen and Dudek come off the final turn to bang in maximum points for the Boll team for the second time in the meeting. That team has scored 5 points. Different combination. Vashlik involved in Heat 1, Dudek involved in Heat 8, but it's Iversen and Dudek who take maximum points. Hülkenberg and Tobias Busch running 3rd and 4th for the City team, who have only picked up 5 points from their 3 races so far. But Niels Christian Iversen and Patrick Dudek take the Boll team on to 12 points.
Yeah, Patrick Dudek's first outing on the track, coming from that inside gate for the Boll team. He made it happen. It looked pretty easy. Him and the mechanic were just talking about it. The bike set up pretty darn well. Let's watch it from that inside. Dudek gets it. Iversen in red coming from 3. Hülkenberg is right there in white. Cut back right there. Now Dudek kind of feels the fact that he looks over his right-hand shoulder just slightly as he's looking, and it is his partner there, Iversen. And Iversen then just got himself, make sure he knew what he was doing, come up, hit that outside line most of the time, and Dudek holding that inside, shooting him up a little bit. Then he adjusted his line a little bit and followed Iversen around kind of mid-track to outside track, and these guys comfortably got the 5 points.
Yep, routine stuff there for
this. Is a good test.
So Zmarzlik unbeaten so far tonight. He is in blue off the inside gate. Next to him, Artem Laguta in white off gate 2, Emil Sayfutdinov in red off gate 3, and Grigory Laguta in yellow off the outside. Here we go with race number 9 as we approach the halfway stage in the qualifying races. The battle for top 3 places overall before the last chance and the final. And heat number 9 gets underway now, and a fairly even break. And it's Emil Sayfutdinov who misses out. There's a real shove there with Zmarzlik involved, but around the outside goes Grigory Laguta. Sayfutdinov trying to get back at Artem Laguta into the third bend. Really close going in there, but so far the Lagutas have the advantage because Grigory Laguta in front. Emil Sayfutdinov charging down the inside of Artem Laguta to get back into third place. Can he avoid his partner? Yes, he can. And now they're on the chase.
Yeah, that's it. I tell you what, Emil just got stunned there a little bit out of the start. The bike didn't do what he wanted to do, but now they're getting the pressure is definitely on.
Bartosz Zmarzlik charges for the inside now on Grigory Laguta. Goes inside him. Laguta will try and go back past him. There's no room there, surely. There is into bend 3, and Zmarzlik hits the front. And now here comes Sayfutdinov on the outside. Laguta trying to charge back with 1 lap to go. And there's still neck and neck into the last lap, and Sayfutdinov goes through in the second place. Laguta's been beaten up there by both Zmarzlik and Sayfutdinov. He tried all he could, but they came through. He's still trying on the final bend. Laguta back on the inside. Going over. I think Emil just about held on, but we'll have to see a replay of that. My word, what a race. Bartosz Zmarzlik and Emil Sayfutdinov. Grigory Laguta really mixing things up, and he came strongly back. They made contact over the finishing line. I think Emil just held on, but we'll wait and see the replay. What a race.
Wow, that was an excellent ride there, I tell you. you know, not making the start is quite good sometimes, isn't it? There,
he can still do it. Bartosz Mazlik from the back. We've seen that. He passed Pedersen earlier on. It is confirmed, by the way, that there you go, the confirmation that Emil did hang on for second. But what a run to the finishing line it was, because Laguta really got stuck in. He led the race, but well, they charged past him in the end.
Laguta come from that outside gate there, just made sure he got over the top of these boys and just clamped them down straight away there. Bartosz Mazlik had nothing to answer for that one in the first corner. Coming off of turn 2, the wheels got in line. Look at ML right here coming from that gate. Just couldn't get in there to make any dents coming off of turn 2. Had to work really hard. Got the bike go down the back straightaway. Tucked in a little bit there. Said, I got to get back to the inside, but there's somebody there. How am I going to get that? Artem Laguta's there. And he just started working it. And as he started going, his speed started generating up the inside. Now we can just see how Bartosz Mazlik gets his wheels in line, tucks them underneath the Laguta there, and just takes advantage of moving him that little bit wide. And Saifedinov then comes in underneath him with some speed as well, as he just tries to tuck back that inside. You can't do it when you're up in that high line, but there is a lot of speed up there. Keep it going. But he didn't have enough to beat him, that's for sure.
Well, there they are, so tight. They gave each other just about racing room, but it did all get very close indeed off the final bend on the run to the finishing line. And real epic battle between Zmarzlik, Saifedinov and Laguta. Here we go across the finishing line.
Yeah, just a natural line there. He's just trying to cover it, really. Wow.
Good stuff. Enjoyed that one. Best race of the night so far. Some terrific stuff. The crowd definitely enjoyed that one. And now they'll be, I'm sure they'll be looking for Hancock and Holder. The Toruń fans in the crowd will be hoping their home riders will get the victory here. Nicky Pedersen, who's yet to win a race so far for 10. Pedersen off the inside, doesn't really make it to the gate. They could go around him on the first bend. Pedersen tries to take him wide. He's gone into second place, but charging up the inside. Hancock. Pedersen gets there. Holder has the advantage. Pedersen second. Martin Smolinski trying to bundle his way through down the inside off bend 4, trying to get past Greg Hancock, who maintains third place, but it's Chris Holder out in front of Nicky Pedersen. Greg Hancock in third.
Yeah, Holder had to work extremely hard in that first corner just to hold on to that. Nicky was going to push him all the way up. Nicky pushed him up to the high line there. Half an opportunity for Hancock to cut back and get underneath him, but Hancock, I thought, just was being a little bit nice there. The momentum's going for him now, though.
Hancock is thinking about a move here on Nicky Pedersen. There is history, of course, between these two. Recent history. Greg Hancock trying the outside now on Nicky Pedersen, who comes across and covers him quite fairly. It's Holder still with the lead. Hancock trots back to the inside on turns 1 and 2. Pedersen back round him at the back straight, and it should be a 4-2 to Monster, which they've been doing throughout the meeting so far. And Chris Holder impressively stretching clear. He wins it from Nicky Pedersen with Greg Hancock in third place. And the Monster team, that's their third 4-2 of the meeting so far. Yet to get the 5-1, but keeping advantages over their opponents keeps them high up the leaderboard. Victory for Chris Holder, his second of the meeting. He's looking fast, looking good, Chris Holder. Started with a third place, but then 2 race wins. And Pedersen second, but the important third for Greg Hancock, meaning a 4-2 to the Monster team.
Yep, and it was all out of the start there. I think Martin Smolinski up that inside gate there really didn't get in there. And it was all, well, it was actually Nicky Pedersen that was sitting in that position. Sorry about that. But Nicky needed to get that first corner first, and he just got held off. Look at 10 yellow right there by Holder. Holder just, the front wheel doesn't even move until he gets into that first corner. And it looked like Hancock was going to go all the way around him. If Holder could have just dropped it on top of Nicky, there might have been there. Hancock decided to go up the inside there. I thought he had a little bit of a chance to sneak up there a little bit going into 3, but he just backed off that a little bit and kept it safe. Early season, so you don't want to take any big chances. But Holder did all the work. Pedersen kept him under pressure the whole time.
And Chris Holder gets his second win of the meeting over the finishing line on one wheel, and the team move on to 12 points. They're in white in place of Iversen. That's a surprise. That's on the way.
Here we go.
Well, it's Protasevich off the inside, Dudek gate 2, Kawodje gate 3, Vashlik off the outside. Have to say the Fogo Power team with Zmarzlik and Saifedinov look really good after Emil's crash in his first ride. I think they're the team to beat so far, but their Monster we've seen whole team on 12 points so far in white and yellow. Here we go with heat number 11. Protasevich off the inside, beaten to the first bend by a fast start by Dudek, but trying to come back is Protasevich, and they're really tight off the second bend. Kawodje tries to steam through, as does Vashlik, and Kawodje has to go square on the third bend. Round the outside is Patrick Dudek to hold the race advantage. They have a 4-2 with Vaclik in third, split by Protasevich, who's mid-track off the second bend, and Vaclik working hard. Protasevich back through in second place.
Yeah, not a bad first lap there. Everybody's kind of using the whole racetrack, trying to get as much speed as they possibly can do. And just look out there, Dudek's checked out already. He's gone now. He's really letting it work up in the high line. That Pepe Protasevich, I thought, put in a good couple, you know, first good turns there and got himself in position in a second, but that's about all he's going to be able to have, I think.
Wonder if we'll see Iversen and Dudek for the Bold team at the sharp end of the meeting in the big races. Certainly Dudek has got an enormous amount of pace as he race leads up the back straight for the final time. Protasevich in second place. It's Vaclik in third, so it will be a 4-2 to the Bold team. Protasevich went really wide off the final turn, still gets home safely in second place, but the win is Patrick Dudek. Another impressive ride there by Dudek, who's made a real impression since coming into the meeting halfway through. Replaced Vaclik last time out. This time comes in for Iversen and comes in with the race victory and a 4-2 in that one over the Protasevich-Kawadje combiner. Squeezed out going to the third bend. That ended his race completely. And Dudek and Vaclik for the Bold team get a 4-2.
Just goes to show you, you get out of the start. Sometimes these guys, I mean, heard Chris Holder say, it's so difficult. You can have a fast bike and you think you got it dialed in, and the next thing you know, you're last. And, you know, this is a prime example right there. If you make a good start, the way this racetrack is, there's a good chance that you can lead it from start to finish. As we just seen Dudek there, just a clean start, got himself going in the first corner. Then Pepe Protasevich in the red, make sure he sealed that second place. It was difficult for him. He didn't have it all his own way there. So the track's coming to the riders right now. They're able to use the whole racetrack. It was Janusz Kawadze. There was the loser out of this 4 riders on the racetrack. Did get out of the start. Didn't have the speed to keep the pace, but heck, that's what it's all about. You got to shift it around. Team manager's doing a good job. Belt, and he's out in third as well. So, you know, that's all he's got.
Antonio Limbach off the inside gate then in blue, Martin Smolinski in white off gate 2, Grigory Laguta in red off gate 3, and Nicky Pedersen going in yellow off the outside. Yes, all the 5 points scored so far by the Trans MF Pro Race team have been scored by Nicky Pedersen, but he's very clearly angled across from gate number 4 in the yellow helmet colour as we get set for heat number 12. Away they go. Can Pedersen make it to the first bend? Yes, he can. Nicky Pedersen in front. Martin Smolinski trying the inside cut back off bend 2, gets rather out of shape, and around the outside goes Grigory Laguta. Has to avoid his teammate Antonio Limbach. Smolinski back on the inside, but they've managed to split them. Nicky Pedersen out in front, and Limbach and Laguta run second and third. Laguta trying hard, gets a great inside line, and nice. Nicky Pedersen goes down. Well, drama in race number 12. Grigory Laguta working hard on the inside, found some real drive there, and took Nicky Pedersen wide, took him wide. Was there contact? We'll have to wait and see. It's about the furthest point in the circuit as far as we're concerned over the start-finishing line. Nicky Pedersen is down, and Wojciech Grodzki has a decision to make.
He sure does. It was an opportunity there. It looked like Nicky went down pretty hard, too. He had to
the replay.
Yeah, Nicky just goes up in his normal line right there, and there's just an opportunity. Just comes underneath there. Wow, it's pretty difficult. He took his line, there's no doubt. Nicky had to turn the throttle completely off, ran out of room. Yeah, he definitely took his line away. There's no doubt about it, and rubbed him.
So would you put Laguta out there?
I would say Laguta definitely interfered with his racing line. I would say, yeah.
No lights on yet from the referee, who has to exclude someone. And we're hearing that Laguta is going to be excluded. Nicky Pedersen heavily into the fence. He's still being treated down on the track at the moment. There's not a great deal of activity down there. He's not exactly being surrounded by medical staff, so hopefully what's going on is for sure, because at the moment the exclusion lights, which are down to our right, have not been illuminated in the stadium, so we'll wait and see what Wojciech Grodzki has done. And it looks...
Well, it looked like to me that Laguta definitely went straight across his line, and Nicky got his wheels in line ready to go.
Well,
and he had nowhere to go.
There's a
bit of a boo going on.
The crowd are absolutely going berserk here at the moment, because they've been getting an announcement. What is very perplexing as Nicky Pedersen gets to his feet and walks away is why there was no light illuminated in the stadium. In red off gate 3, so off the inside in blue, Antonio Limbach. Martin Smolinski going off gate 2, and Nicky Pedersen going off gate 4. Limbach just turning away here. He's got around 40 seconds to get back to the start line.
Yeah, bar an engine failure, Smolinski's going to get his first point no matter what happens, or maybe he can get a little bit of enthusiasm out of this.
The restart then of Heat 12, Martin Smolinski concentrating on Gate 2. Can he get this time? Makes a really poor start, in fact, Smolinski. Lindback, quite a good one, tries to contest with Nicky Pedersen. In doing so, it brings Smolinski back into the equation, but Lindback moves back into second place. So Pedersen out in front of Lindback, who's trying to sweep it wide off forward and then going to cut back into the second lap. Nicky Pedersen out in front, Antonio Lindback chasing him in second, going wide into bends 1 and 2. Pedersen with the lead, Antonio Lindback charging hard down the inside. Antonio Lindback going inside Pedersen, who clamps him off and still leads.
Just didn't have enough speed to get there and clinch the deal was Lindback there, but I can tell you Pedersen then from the word go demanded his bike to get in front, and he did. He got himself out there under a bit of pressure now. Lindback surfing for some extra line, going up the high line now. Can he get some drive coming off this one, coming down the front straightaway?
Well, Lindback looks quicker. That is clear to see. He's got 1 lap to try and make a passing move. Pedersen riding mid-track off the second turn. Lindback again tries the inside into the third bend. Again, he's clamped off. That wasn't quite supposed that time, and Pedersen should have it here as Lindback again tries the inside, and Pedersen's there by about a bike and a half at the finishing line over Antonio Lindback, with Martin Smolinski in third place. Strong chase there by Antonio Lindback. Had plenty of speed during that race. There was one time on lap 2 he almost got through on the inside. Nicky Pedersen, all the experience of his 39 years, most of them spent racing Speedway, clamped him off, and he gets his first race win of the meeting. Pedersen over Lindback, Smolinski in third place. 4-2 to Trans MF Pro Race Team.
Maybe didn't have all the speed in that one there where the Laguna got underneath him, but Pedersen made a decent one from that outside now. Get over the top there. Antonio Lindback there's now got to shuffle around. Smolinski showed a little bit of color coming off of turn 2, but it was all about Lindback trying to see if he could just keep pace with Pedersen. And by the time the race really got full momentum, took a lap and a half to almost get there, Lindback started finding some speed, and he came underneath Pedersen for one go. And as he did, Pedersen had to think about it a little bit and stretch the bike and then clamp it back down on Lindback there just to slow him up, and that was just enough to keep that lead for the remainder of the race.
The 4-2 doesn't really do that team a great deal of good. It obviously helps their situation.
I thought it was 29, wasn't it? Is it 39?
39.
I thought it was 29.
It could be 29 if you want. All the best, Nicky. We keep fingers crossed for you. Thank you.
Red off the inside, Protasevich in white off gate 2, Bush goes in blue off gate 3, and Zengota in yellow off the outside. Start Marshall got a bit of work to do with the riders on the outside, but they are all into line now. And here we go with heat 13, lots of edging and creeping. Yep. In the end, it was Protasevich who actually went into the tapes first. There was all sorts of movement there at the start line. Protasevich in white, I'm sure, will pay the penalty. Yes, the white light is on for Protasevich to be excluded, but he wasn't the only one moving, but he was the first one to go into the tapes.
You know that scenario of 13 points, if they can get 5, it's gone now.
Forget that. Yes.
A little bit itchy there. Yeah, there was a lot of movement right there just on that inside. There's just that little bit jump right there. That's unfair. You get sucked into it because you're concentrating and you're looking over the guy's wheel when you're in gate 2. And as you do, he moves a little bit. You think something's going to happen. You want to go, and then bang, you let it go.
Hülkenberg's so lucky not to touch the tapes there. He was mighty close, but Protasevich has been around for so many years. He'll know what it's all about, but there's probably the frustration when that happens must be enormous, especially, as we said, this is the race that they should have been looking to get big points out of.
Yeah, absolutely. They needed those points.
The 41-year-old who was the world under-21 champion back in 1996 when you were up. So the 3 remaining riders up at tapes for the rerun of Heat 13. Away they go, and Zengota from the outside makes a really good start, comes across from gate 4, gets above both Bush and then Hülkenberg, and Greg Zengota has the advantage, and he leads into the third bend. Hülkenberg trying a mid-track line round turns 3 and 4, trying to get the better of Zengota, but Zengota, the pole still holds the advantage, with Hülkenberg now going much wider on bends 1 and 2. He's got speed once again, Hülkenberg. Can he get down the inside here with Zengota?
Yeah, he's building up the momentum right now. Zengota's a little bit comfortable, and he does. Gets it. He goes right underneath and moves him offline a little bit. Now he's just got to hold on to it. He's got to chase the high line. He's also got to cover the inside at the same time.
Well, I have to say Hülkenberg has threatened doing that for much of the afternoon. He's been buzzing around behind people all day without quite managing to find a way through. Well, that time he has. Hülkenberg in front of Zengota with Bush in third place. points, and Hülkenberg leads on to his last lap. Really smart move there. You could see him building it up on the inside, and then when he made the pass, executed really cleanly, and Kai Hülkenberg come through for a fine victory in heat number 13. Hülkenberg over Zengota with Busch in third place. Zengota fast starting, did it all right from the outside, came across both his rivals, but really good ride, as I say, by Kai Hülkenberg coming through on the inside to take victory for the City team. So we mentioned a possible 5-1 to Eport 2000, when in fact they've conceded a 4-2, and that pretty much, well, it ends their hopes of further progression in the meeting. Just got to try and get...
You know, he thought that if he can make a start, he could possibly win. We've seen the speed in it early on, but it was Gregory Zengota that got the start. He definitely made sure he clamped it, tucked the front wheel right close to the inside line, coming off of turns 2. But as the speed was building up right here, here's Hülkenberg coming into the first corner, out of the start, keeping it down low. But that bike, once he let it go and started building up the momentum, just had enough speed to put Zengota under a little bit of pressure. Zengota then moved offline a little bit, chased a little bit the high line there, left the door wide open then for Hülkenberg to come up on the inside and cleanly passes him, just moves him offline a little bit. That's a natural line, I would say, around this torn 325-meter track, and it does let you go, but a good result there for the Nice team.
Yeah,
at their racetrack. And I tell you what, Tobias, when Ricky Wells came over and rode at Legno for a meeting at the end of last year, I came over and watched him, and Tobias was really, really fast on the bigger tracks. Suffers a little bit on the smaller English tracks, but he's got the speed and the bike goes pretty.
Starting grid here for heat 14. Greg Hancock going off the inside. Mugelak gate 2, Holder gate 3, and Smalzik goes off the outside. Heat number 14 gets underway. Smalzik does not make a good start. The Monster Boys get to the first bend in front. Now what can Bartosz Smalzik do from the back? Greg Hancock and Chris Holder have the advantage, and Smalzik, I'm sure, is going to give it a go here, but he's going to have to do it from some way back as they come to complete the first lap. Round the outside goes Chris Holder, Greg Hancock in second, and Smalzik now moving in to make a challenge.
Yeah, Smalzik is there to put the pressure on the Monster Boys. Hancock there and Holder just using the racetrack now. Holder up in the high line, Hancock covering the middle side of the track, but Bartosz Smalzik is right there. If they make any mistakes, they're going to have to keep the pace up.
Hancock mid-track, Holder around the outside, Smalzik keeping it much tighter. Third lap into the third bend they go, and Greg Hancock goes across the corner, so they've actually switched lines there with Holder on the inside and Hancock on the outside, and Smalzik still buzzing around behind them. Can he get past one or both here on the last lap? So far, they've got the team riding done well, the Monster Boys, into turns 3 and 4 for the final time. Smalzik still chasing, he tries to cut back off the final bend, but he can't make it as Greg Hancock wins heat 14 from Chris Holder. Bartosz Smalzik in third place. They pulled out Emil Sajfutdinov. We may yet see those two combinations racing again later in the meeting with Emil Sajfutdinov in the race. That would certainly spice things up, but Hancock and Holder have taken maximum points, and the Monster team looking good as they get big points over the Fogo Power team in heat 14.
Yeah, Smalzik really kept the pressure on both the Monster Boys right there, but Hancock and Holder knew what they had to do, and they had to swap lines halfway through that race because Hancock's bike wasn't working as good as Holder's bike on the high line, and as soon as they swapped it around, the defense then became a nil for Smalzik. He was trying his hardest, but he couldn't do it. Here's a look right there, Hancock in red off the inside there. Tobias didn't get into the hunt there in the first part of this race. Basically trailed last the whole race, but there's Holder up in the high line. He's going to let the bike run. Here's another shot of Holder coming out of the start. Bartosz Smalzik really put the pressure on both these guys, tried to split them, but couldn't do it. Once the boys knew they needed to be in opposite places on the racetrack, that's Hancock on the outside and Holder on the inside. That combination worked perfect.
Lots of experience there.
And with his partner Rene Goltov coming from that outside gate, this guy's pretty handy too. If he makes a decent start and he's got the right setup on his bike, he's actually can keep pace.
Well, everyone's got 2 rides to come in the regular part of the meeting. Then we go to the race off, the last chance, followed by the final itself. So far it looks good for Mon. Here we go and see what Dudek can make of it on the inside against Nicky Pedersen. Away they go, and Pedersen a good start in front of Patrick Dudek. Everson's gone wide straight away, and Pedersen's got the advantage here. Nicky Pedersen out in front. The Bold team running second and third, with Everson going wide, trying to switch back. Everson turning tight. They were pairs winners last season together, Everson and Pedersen. Well, now they're racing hard. Nicky Pedersen out in front. Niels Christian Everson chasing hard. Pedersen still leads.
Yeah, Pedersen didn't really know where to go going in that turn 3 of the first lap, but whether stay low, stay high. Everson went high, tried to cut back. Pedersen staying right in the middle of the racetrack. Has he got enough speed to do it there? Look at Everson challenging from that high line there. Dudek is going to hopefully hopefully try to follow him, but looks like Pedersen might just have enough.
Pedersen still maintaining a couple of bike lengths over Niels Christian Iversen as they come through to start the last lap. Iversen gets closer again as they go into bends 1 and 2, goes out really wide, trying to make a big move around the outside, but there's not really enough out there for him, and Nicky Pedersen still maintains the advantage. Iversen riding wide, Dudek on the inside. Looks like the race will be shared. Nicky Pedersen wins heat number 15 in the Danish clash, the all-Danish clash between Pedersen and Iversen. Dudek in third place, Gaffrov at the back, and points shared between those teams. There's still no great support for Nicky Pedersen, who has scored all but one of the Trans MF Pro Race team's points so far, and that won't be enough to take them into the closing stage. But Pedersen does lay down a marker by winning heat 15 over Iversen and Dudek, and that race is shared 3-apiece.
They kick to prove it, but that's 2 wins in a row for Pedersen, and he made it. This was a little bit more challenging for him, but he made it from the start, and he really then just had to keep the pace. Wasn't 100% sure, I would think, going down this back straightaway now, whether he's going to tuck it in and hold the inside or let the bike run to the outside. He stayed mid-track. Here's another view of him getting out of the start, watching him do the job there. His partner that just came in neutral here at the Rene Golfet didn't really do anything in that race, so couldn't help Pedersen at all. Pedersen had to do it all by himself, and he put that back wheel on the racetrack right where he needed to do, and just made it over the finish line.
Important than winning races, so you've got to look at certainly Monster looking strong with Hancock and Holder, and also a bold team with the speed that Iversen and Dudek have got. Those are going to be the two favourites as things stand.
Yeah, I would echo those exact sentiments there. It's gonna, everybody's got to be clicking, and when you have a little bit of a weak link and you got to shuffle things around and they're not in your favor, they will cost you towards the end.
Gain some points back. It's Protasevich off the inside, Limbach off gate 2, Kawadje off gate 3, and Grigory Laguta goes off the outside. Away they go, and that's a sharp start by Janis Kawadje. There was contact going into the bend between the riders in red and yellow, but they have a 1-2 situation going here to 8 quarters. Laguta comes steaming down the inside. That's spectacular stuff once again from Grigory Laguta. Oh, no, real contact there, and Protasevich gets shunted on the straight and goes to the back behind Antonio Limbach. Well, the speed of those as they come off the bend there, and Protasevich could have been in a real danger spot.
Yeah, Pepe Protasevich got a little bit of knock coming off the start too, and they just got beat up coming off of turns 4 of the first lap, and now he's trailing in the last place there. Big effort from both Limbach to get himself into 3rd place, and his partner Laguta to stay in that 2nd place. But out in front right now, we got a clean run there. Yeah,
clear lead for Janis Kawadje in front of this heat 16, but the battle's ready for 2nd and 3rd. Laguta once again mixing things up. He's in 2nd place. Limbach is 3rd, and Protasevich has come to a halt. He locked up completely on the 2nd turn. He's now coasting down the back straight as the race is won by Janis Kawadje, with Grigory Laguta 2nd, with Antonio Limbach in 3rd. But my word, that was a real strong turn 3 and 4, and Protasevich is turning away, and he's not too happy with the treatment he's got. But just slightly off your picture, Protasevich is having words with Laguta on the back straight, and they are brief words, and nothing more has come of it, but it was quite clear that Protasevich was not happy with what went on there. Kawadje winning heat 16, Laguta was 2nd, Limbach was 3rd. Protasevich came to a halt after an interesting first lap.
Yeah, I would say, like I said, coming out of the start, we'll watch it here in the replay there. This guy out in front, Kawadje, made it look really easy. Come out of gate 3 with the blue helmet color. Made a decent start, got his back wheel up on that dirt and took control of it. The Pepe Protasevich on the inside of it, his partner there, as they're going into this corner right here, just gets beat up. Just coming out of the start there. Just seeing the back, just almost didn't get there in the first corner, and they just touched there with Limbach and Pepe Protasevich. Pepe got it together, started going, but then, as you said, got beat up going into that corner.
Here's the incident coming off the 4th bend. So does Laguta do anything wrong here?
Well, it just pushed him up high. Yeah, I didn't give him enough racing room. Actually knew what he was doing. Probably didn't think Pepe was going to be there as you look back, after the infringement happened. The bike did drift a little bit for Laguta there, so who knows.
Protasevich was not happy. He went round for another lap or so before pulling to a halt, but it was quite clear the body language was that he was very unhappy indeed with what had gone on during that race.
Anytime you got to turn the throttle off when you're right up against the fence, a bit dangerous.
16 heats, Team Boll with 19 points, Monster Energy on 7, gate 2. white, running blue, I should say, Tobias Bush off gate 3, and Greg Hancock in white off the outside. Saw some great team riding from Hancock and Holder in their previous rides. Haven't seen a great deal of classic team riding tonight so far, but that was Hancock and Holder earlier on, and you could tell they knew exactly where the other was going.
Yeah, it was just to keep that speed up. You know, I think they realized the fact that Hancock wasn't getting as much grip down the bottom end, so they moved up to the outside. He hits that dirt first.
Teammates with Torren in Poland. They were teammates with Pirra Turner in Sweden until this season. Away they go with heat number 17. Perfect start by both the monster riders with Holder and Hancock. Hülkenberg is right there, as he has been throughout the meeting. Hülkenberg will race them, there's no question about that. And if they do make a mistake, which is hugely unlikely given the expertise of these two out in front, then Hülkenberg will be there to make a challenge. But it's Greg Hancock on the outside, Chris Holder on the inside. Hülkenberg chasing hard in third. It looks like it should be a 5-1 here.
Yeah, freshly groomed racetrack for this heat, and Hülkenberg fears nobody, so the pace is good. If there's any mistakes, I can tell you he'll be one that will snatch it, but he's just got to get a little bit more to be able to get in there.
Hülkenberg trying to get down the inside of Chris Holder coming off the fourth bend last time. Now he's gone wider on the third lap as they come to start the fourth lap, and it's Greg Hancock still out in front, Chris Holder in second place, Kai Hülkenberg in third with Tobias Bush out the back, and the monster team trying to book a direct place into the final this evening, and that could well be the case because they're going to take maximum points from heat 17. It's Greg Hancock and Chris Holder over Kai Hülkenberg, with Tobias Bush bringing up the rear. 5-1 to the monster team. They started the meeting with 3 4-2s. They've now added 2 5-1s, and they're beginning to establish some control, especially with Fogo Power being somewhat depowered or underpowered by the fact that Emil Safadinov is ruled out for the remainder of the meeting. No stopping Greg Hancock or Chris Holder in heat 17, a clear 5-1.
Simply clear. Hancock coming from the outside gate made it look quite easy once he dumped that clutch. A little bit struggling there for Holder. I wouldn't say. I think that was probably more down to the way the track is. It came out on a freshly groomed racetrack, and to get that dirt to move around just to help them out a little bit. After they got a couple laps and they started getting the momentum there, Hülkenberg comes back that inside line, was going to have a go, but it was pretty easy for Holder to make sure he clamped it down low, and as he did, he looked over his right-hand shoulder there, just enough to see Hancock get that bike up to speed. By the time they got into turn 3, they had this one pretty well wrapped up.
They did. They get the 5 points. They move on to 22 for the meeting so far. The Bolt team also had 5 rides. They're on 19. Fogo Power on 14 with a ride in hand. That comes up in heat 18. That's next up. But Fogo Power have lost.
That Safadinov has had some trouble with that shoulder. It's not the first time that he's had trouble in his early season, and that could be a nuisance all the way through.
Remember the European Championship last season when he won it and then actually damaged it in the celebrations.
So yeah, that's right. And it's one of those things, you know, I've heard guys, you know, having to have operations and it can be out for a while. So let's.
And Vashlik up against Bartosz Zmarzlik and Tobias Mijelak, away they go. Zmarzlik is beaten to the first bend by Dudek. Round the outside goes his teammate Martin Vashlik. So now what can Zmarzlik do? From the back, trying the inside into the third bend. It's really close as Bartosz Zmarzlik tries to bundle inside Martin Vashlik off the fourth bend. They're still wheel to wheel. They make contact on the straight. Oh my word! How close was that as they both turn left into the first bend? A bit too early, I think, but it's still 1-2. But Dudek and Vashlik with Zmarzlik doing all he can.
Oh boy, that was a bit close going into that first corner. Oh, it gets up against the fence there again, man. These guys are throwing blows left, right, and center here.
No love lost between Vashlik and Zmarzlik, but Zmarzlik will keep on coming back. He'll keep on trying to pass Martin Vashlik. Patrick Dudek out in front. Zmarzlik, you get the feeling, is determined to get the better of Martin Vashlik as they start with half up, and now Zmarzlik chops tight for the inside line off bend 2 and tries to go right alongside. Nice ride by Vashlik back around the outside. It's Dudek out in front. Zmarzlik now gives it the big hamper around the outside off bend 3 and 4, but he won't make it. It's a 5-1 in heat 18 to Dudek and Vashlik for the Bowl team, and they end their regular programme of races with maximum points as they started, and doing it without Niels Christian Iversen. So a good solid score chart from those 3 riders, all very much contributing. Patrick Dudek with his second win of the meeting, and well backed up there by Martin Vashlik after a real skirmish with Bartosz Zmarzlik, who is beaten into third place once again in heat.
Pressure was on Martin Martin was having to work hard. Barslik Smashlik really did keep the pressure on throughout the whole race. Did get to the first corner where he wanted to. He was taken care of straight away by Dudek. Dudek got in front, and look, already getting away. 2 or 3 bike links by the time they got into turn 3 of the first lap. Pretty important to have that speed, especially when they're going to seal the deal. These 5 points are going to be really handy. They go into the final straight through, but without this battle that was going on, Barslik was really putting the pressure on, had to put his front wheel over the white line a little bit just to keep the momentum and keep the pressure on Vashlik. Vashlik did a good job to hold on. Left elbow up, just shut the door, and I was here coming in the corner there. That's how hard he had to work.
Bit of left turning going on here, I think.
Yeah, mainly, even as the wheel come up in the air there, luckily they weren't closer. That was a good ride.
So the 5-1 moves the Bowl team on to 24 points from their 6 rides. They have finished, and they'll now wait and see what happens elsewhere. The likelihood is that they'll find themselves in the last chance semi-final, and Gregory Laguta do. We know that Gregory Laguta will get stuck in here going off gate 3.
Yeah, he will do. And he's just going to have to rely on Lindback to back him up. If Lindback can get into that first corner first before Hancock, he could shift them around a little bit in that first corner. Laguta's got to make a clean one. It's going to be a tough call, but here goes.
Final ride of the regular program for these teams. Lindback going off the inside gate. Hancock gate 2. Gregory Laguta gate 3, and Holder off the outside. Hancock off gate 2. Another fantastic start. Lindback tries to move him out, can't do so. Here comes Chris Holder round the outside. He's gone round 1. Can he get right round the field there? Chris Holder fully committed, fully determined, and makes it right round the field off turn 4. Greg Hancock waiting for him, looks over his shoulder. Hancock knew exactly where Antonio Lindback was. He knew where Chris Holder was going, and they're all set for a 5-1.
Holder's definitely got it now, doesn't he? I tell you, that guy's worked hard over the winter time. He didn't have a greatest season the last couple of years. Fended off a couple of injuries, and he means business now. He looks fit as heck, and he's out there determined. Rode a hard, high line. Hancock backed him up, just holding off the rest of the boys. Good ride from both these monster guys.
This will take the monster team into the final. It will mean the end of the night as far as the Nice Racing team are concerned. Gregory Laguta still charging away, trying to get back at Greg Hancock. He's trying to go really wide on the second turn, but Holder in front. Holder well clear. Hancock in second, Laguta in third, and the Monster Energy team are going through to tonight's grand final as Laguta tries hard off the final bend, but can't get to grips with Greg Hancock, and Holder and Hancock take Monster Energy team into tonight's final, top of the leaderboard after the regular 6 rides. Still yet to find out who will complete the lineup for the semi-final last chance, but it won't be the Nice Racing team, who only scored 1 point in that heat number 19, and they finished with 13 overall on the night. But Hancock and Holder really stamping their authority. They both look quick, and they've got the team riding also mapped out.
Yep, it's pretty natural for those Monster boys to be able to pull that off. So Monster Energy team out in front right now, going straight in the final, as you mentioned, and they did it this way. Hancock trying to get over the top there. Look at him work that clutch to get in that first corner. He does the job, gets over Lindback. Lindback now has to settle it. Lindback stays in there, looks over to his right a little bit, but look at Holder up at the high line, squeezes through against the fence and Lindback, and he gets himself up in that high line going into turns 3. The bike pulls him around, gets a setup. He had to work hard to get to that first turn, but once he negotiated that and got his wheels in line down the back straightaway, Hancock was there to help him out. Nice look over his right-hand shoulder. The American does the job, and the Australian follows through. Monster Energy gets themselves a nice 5 points.
Who can stop Greg Hancock and Chris Holder in the final? Who will make it to the final? Still some races, 2 more races to go to determine that. Monster Energy on 27 points, Bowl team on 20.
Alongside Nicky and Golfek, so they definitely got to make this happen, don't they? This is their opportunity.
Yeah, Gaffroff off the inside, Hülkenberg gate 2, Pedersen gate 3, Kroner off the outside. Certainly Hülkenberg could be a threat. He's ridden pretty well for 8 points from 5 rides in a strong meeting.
And he's even come from behind too, so he didn't have to rely on one of the gates. But he's good out of the start. Gurfaroff's got to make that happen from that inside gate. Pedersen knows what he's got to do. Coming off of gate 3, he's just going to have to get himself in front straight away and take care of us from the outside.
Important heat number 20 then. Nicky Pedersen, the man in blue. What can he do on the first turn? Can he help his partner? Away they go for heat number 20. Gaffroff made quite a good start. Pedersen got to the bend in front. Gaffroff is there too, and they have squeezed out Hülkenberg. In fact, it's Kroner in third place. Hülkenberg now trying the big dive down the inside into bends 3 and 4, but he can't make it through. And a 5-1 to Trans Am Pro Racing could keep them in the hunt here, depending on what happens in heat 21. Nicky Pedersen out in front. Renat Gaffroff popping up in second place so far. far.
Yeah, Nicky's got to look over his shoulder. He's going to be under a wee bit of pressure there. He's going to have Gavrof's got to hold on to that second place to finish this off. So that's going to be the best chances. We're saying he's doing not such a bad job right now. The bike's working for him. He's working the outside line, getting his wheels in line. He's got some good speed.
Hülkenberg is in third place, still thrusting away, but a couple of bike lengths behind René Gavrov. Nicky Pedersen moves on to his last lap. The battle is on for second place, and chopping to the inside now is Guy Hülkenberg. And can he make it through, or back round the outside comes Gavrov? And Gavrov does go back round him to maintain the 1-2 situation. Pedersen out in front, and Gavrov will come home in second. That's a 5-1 to the Trans MF Pro Race team, and that moves them on to 17 points. 17 points for them, and it could... It's unlikely to be enough, but it might be if some drama happens in heat number 21. Nicky Pedersen winning heat number 20, and he's certainly got himself wound up towards the end. It may be coming to grief after a challenge by Grigory Laguta. Really did wind up, because he's won 3 races since then. Pedersen taking heat number 20, backed up well by René Gavrov for a 5-1 to Trans MF Pro Race.
Yeah, Kroner was the odd one out in this race here, but he put in an effort. Hülkenberg just kept that pressure on just to keep the Russian honest. Off the inside there, Gavrov makes a decent start, but look at Pedersen, determined to get to that first corner, and lucky him, his partner followed him through up the inside coming off of turn 2. I don't think Nicky Pedersen looked too much. He was concentrating on his own race right there. He's not had the best of dominating nights, so this was one he's got to clinch. The chances of him 5 points are good, so they might just have that might just be the edge. We just got to see what's going to happen next.
Well,
but good ride for these guys to get those 5 points.
They finish on 17. Fogo Power have got 15. ePort 2000 have got 13. Those two meet in heat 21. If ePort 2000 get a 4-2 over Fogo Power, they'll all have 17 points. But on the countback, Trans MF will go through. That is the permutation that takes them through. Anything else, somebody else will go above that 17 points. So if ePort 2000 get a 4-2 over Fogo Power, that could well be good news for Trans MF.
Okay.
Hope that makes sense. Down to the pits.
Into that semi-final.
Bartosz Zmarzlik, the man who needs to do it for his team in the yellow helmet colour off the outside. Protasevich has had a really torrid evening so far, rides in red off gate 3, Mugelak in white off gate 2, standing in for Emil Sayfutdinov, has not been on the pace so far, and Kawadje in blue off the inside. With heat number 21, which will sort out the third qualifier, the team to join the bowl team in the semi. Away, it's a good start from the inside gate by Kawadje, and round the outside now goes Bartosz Zmarzlik, and so far Mugelak in third. He's been swallowed up, a real tussle at the front as Zmarzlik goes flying round the outside, and he's still not quite made it, because coming across him there is Janusz Kawadje down the inside. Protasevich, and Zmarzlik there has gone almost from first to third. Protasevich has found this from nowhere. He's out in front with Kawadje going round him, and they're on a most unexpected 5-1.
Yeah, Protasevich was in the right place at the right time there. The tussle that was going on between Zmarzlik and Kawadze out in front then mixed them up a little bit. It's still not over with, but it looks pretty darn tempting that these guys, the ePort 2000 team, will take it.
Well, this will take them through if they get a 5-1. It will take them into third place, but it's still Bartosz Zmarzlik trying to move down the inside. Is there room for Bartosz Zmarzlik on the inside to maybe pass them both? Clumped off by Protasevich. It's Kawadje out in front. Protasevich in second place. Zmarzlik with huge speed, but can he make a passing move? It looks unlikely. It's a 5-1 to ePort 2000, and that will take them through on 18 points. Janusz Kawadje and Pepe Protasevich, and I was about to say I was surprised that Zengota wasn't going in that race with Protasevich struggling, and he's come up with a fantastic ride there, partnering Janusz Kawadje, and they're going to move on with that 5-1.
That's it. What an outcome of heat number 21. These guys had to work for it. It wasn't all so easy for them, that's for sure, but Janusz Kawadze got off to a really good start and got them mixing it up behind him, and Bartes was really showing his color, wasn't he? He was just moving all around.
Kawadje and Protasevich with the 5-1. They move on to 18. Trans MF Pro are left on 17. And Fogo Power, well, their problems really started with the withdrawal of Emil Sayfutdinov and Zmarzlik, although all action or all entertainment has been hitting 5-1s. And here's the action. They finish on 16 points.
Man, these guys, this was an excellent race here. Just look at Kawadze just trying to get into that first corner, and he does the business. He gets himself in there, mixes it up. But Bartosz Zmarzlik then has another idea. He just keeps the throttle on, and he just wings right around him. It's going into turn 3. Here's another look at it. the race really gets underway by the time you get down that back straightaway and get into turn 3. That's where the action starts. But then Pepe Protasiewicz shows his colors in red, takes care of one, cuts up the inside, and cuts through there. And how he did that with all that momentum he picked up down that back, he actually took the whole lap to get that momentum up, and he made amends there, and he did a great job.
So that really does change things in the very last race. That was a fierce move, to say the least, on Bartosz Marzik. But Protasiewicz, who had a terrible night, really. And there you go. There's the celebrations in the
talking about the experience pays off. There it goes, huh?
Oh, big time, absolutely. Classification: Monster on 27 points go through to the final. Team Bowl on 24. They will take on ePort 2000.
Waculik w kasku czerwonym I Patryk Dudek.
Martin Waślik and Patrick Dudek going for the Bowl team.
ePort 2000.
Red and blue.
Witam, kask biały, z tego co widzę, Grzesiu Zęgota. Grzesiu?
Zęgota is in white. And Kołodziej goes in yellow. Finished comfortably second in the overall standings after 6 rides apiece. That now counts for nothing. It's who goes through on this last chance race. Remember, second and third is better than first and fourth if the race is a traditional 3-all shared race. Here we go with the last chance then, heat number 22. It's away now, and the rider in the white Zęgota makes a flying start, but his teammate Kołodziej has been squeezed out. Now, what can Dudek do around the outside? What can Kołodziej do? Kołodziej goes inside to third, Dudek round the outside, and they're all place swapping off the fourth bend. It's really tight indeed, and it's Zęgota who comes out in front of Dudek, with Waślik in third, now going second. Kołodziej back at the back. At the moment, the 3-3 will send the Bowl team through, but Kołodziej is still threatening.
Waślik, what a move he did in that last corner to secure that, to get in there with his partner Dudek. Now Dudek and him has just got to hold on, and Dudek's looking over his right-hand shoulder to make sure that he can take care of Kołodziej up in the high line there. It's going to be tough to hold Kołodziej back.
Well, they don't have to worry about Zęgota, but they do have to worry about Kołodziej, who's trying the outside run. It's all really tight off bends 3 and 4. Here comes Kołodziej winding up a huge outside line with 1 lap to go. Is the route blocked there by Waślik and Dudek? Kołodziej doing all he can to try, and is Zęgota trying to slow down. Zęgota's trying to slow it down. Here comes Kołodziej around the outside. All 5 to the finishing line. All going to finish together. The Bowl team come through and probably get a 5-1 in the end. Incredible finale to the semi-final. Greg Zęgota was trying to slow things down to help out Janusz Kołodziej. In the end, he got beaten himself, but he had to do it. He knew that first and fourth wouldn't be enough, and Waślik and Dudek have gone through into the final. In whichever order they finished there, Martin Waślik has won the race. What a race that was. True pairs racing that was. The riders all knew what they had to do, and it was terrific stuff.
Oh, Waślik, I think, played the key role in that one, man. He had to work hard to get himself into position to mix it up there. And just right here, you can just see Zęgota's having a little bit of problems right there, and then they nip underneath him, and this is when the real fight begins.
Very close for second place. Not that it makes any difference to who goes through, but Martin Waślik has won the race, and quite clearly on the last lap, Zęgota had held back. He knew he'd be under threat, but he had to do it. Zęgota has been classified second in that race. They don't go through. Dudek does enough with the third. So Waślik, the winner of a terrific last chance race. That was one, Sam.
Well, I tell you what, Kołodziej from the outside didn't quite get over the top of where he needed to be there. Just getting that first corner was going to be a pretty tough for him that there. Dudek did a good job to get up in that high line straight away, but out in front right there was what it was all about. The Zęgota leading the race, and then it just starts to come right here. Now watch Waślik. Waślik starts to really push the pressure on the inside there, and that just mixed everybody up enough to where everybody can start shifting positions. Then it was about territory. Where they're going to be in the high line, the low line, and the race just opens up. They were almost 3 abreast at one time, weren't they, going down the straightaways there?
Several times, I think.
Yeah, there you go. There's a bit of a mistake right there that Kołodziej made. He got himself into position, but just overcooked it. Had to back off a little bit because there's everybody taking different parts of the territory up on the racetrack. But a great race.
Great race. Great stuff from all 4 riders. It's the Bowl team who go through, and now we'll see if those 2 go again.
With Joe Parsons Monster Energy team, which gate for
Monster.
each rider?
We're going to take the red and blue.
Red for whom?
For Greg, and the blue for Chris Holt.
Thank you. I Rafał Dobrucki.
Kask biały Martin Waculik, kask żółty Patryk Dudek.
Dziękuję.
So there were helmets. There are the riders across the starting grid for the grand final of round 1. 10 points in the series for the winners, 8 for the runners-up.
I just watched Martin Waślik on gate 2. He started off doing his gardening towards gate 3 holder on the right-hand side. Then he went right up to Greg and looked up the inside, was really working that hard. Then he kind of went in the middle and he's
off gates 1 and 3. Here we go with the grand final of the first round of best pairs here in Torun. Away they go then, and the Bolt team make a good start with the rider in white, Martin Vashlik, and round the outside comes Patrick Dudek, and Dudek's made it all the way around the outside now. Drama in the final because Team Monster are left third and fourth with Hancock and Holder, and there has to be some real drama now if they're going to come through. Great stuff by Dudek, made it right round the outside. Vashlik made the start, holds second, and now can Chris Holder get through? Again, he's blocked out. They're still in front.
Dudek way out in front, big lines in the first corner, letting that bike work. His partner Vashlik did all the work out of the start, got the top over Hancock into the first turn, set the pace. Now the Monster boys are chasing.
Well, they chose not to use Niels Krishniemus. It might yet be the right movers. Again, Vashlik holding sway in second place with Chris Holder doing all he can to try and pass. Dudek is a mile away at the front, but Vashlik still got to hold on against Holder and Hancock on the last lap. Dudek is way out in front wide, but they're actually all on for...
Drama!
He's backed up, would you believe it? The bike has given up, and it's going to give the Monster boys victory, even though Dudek wins the race. Oh, heartbreak for Martin Vashlik, and Monster do with the first round of the pairs with dramatic last-lap development as Martin Vashlik has engine failure, just like he did earlier in the meeting, and somehow Greg Hancock and Chris Holder have won the meeting with second and third, because Martin Vashlik, who has left the bike parked on the home straight down in front of us, he cannot believe what's happened. It's Hancock and Holder who get the Monster result and win the final.
Celebrations for the Monster team, but really disappointment for the Bull team, and they had it. They worked hard. Everson's heads down right now. Martin Vashlik's walking back to the pit, deterred, doesn't understand what's going on. Mechanical failure, that happens in any kind of form of racing, but the Monster boys picked it up. Dudek wins it clearly. He was fast.
When the mechanical failure happens on the last lap of a big final, it must be so hard to take, because they justified the call. They got themselves in a 5-1 situation. They were going to win it, and there is the result. Dudek wins the race, but second and third in the pairs format is enough to give you victory, and that is why in front of us, Greg Hancock and Chris Holder are doing lap after lap of Uyghurs, and to be fair, Dudek is too.
I tell you what, the Monster boys would have rather earned it another way, rather than take it that way. That's just how honorable those guys are. Very humble boys, and they'll take the win. That's 10 points. Yeah, 2 more than the Bull team is going. It's only the round 1. There's 2 more to go.
Well, here's the action from the final.
You just can't believe your luck sometimes. That's the way it goes. But Red Vashlik gets swallowed up straight away from the first word go. Hancock is trying to make it happen, and just, you know, this is what it's all about. These guys are determined racers. They're going to make it whatever goes on. Hancock, it just gets in there, and Dave,
Dudek was sensational in that race.
Unbelievable. He just took off, and he hit that dirt. Big line the first lap. By the time he got around the back straightaway, he was cleanly out in front.
There's the failure.
Yep. The bike just started smoking. Whatever happened, it blew up. I didn't see nothing come out the bottom of it, but the smoke tells the story.
And that enabled Greg Hancock and Chris Holder to race through and take the second and third places. That means they win round 1 of the pairs. You can see Vashlik knows there's an issue there off that bend.
And he also got out of the way of the riders. He knew what was going on, kept it down low. Good job of him, but the Monster boys reaped the benefits of his failure.
And Chris Holder